So welcome. For those that don't know me, I am Chantel Hampton. I am just super excited to be doing this webinar, launching this vision that God has placed on my heart. Now I want to say about 4 years ago. And it's called the Brave Evolution. And today we're going to talk about, in the next 45 minutes, just what the Brave Evolution is, why God called me to create it, the journey that I've gone through to get to this place, and how I can help you. So I kind of just explained the agenda. Please let me know if you can see everything. Can you guys see this slide that I just forwarded? Can you see that?
I can see it.
Okay, awesome. All right, so like I said, the agenda tonight is, what is the Brave Evolution? Then we're going to talk about your journey, your purpose, and your call. What have you been called and purposed to do? And then your brave steps. What has been holding you back from those brave steps? What are the things that have caused you to kind of get stuck and afraid? We're going to dispel those fears, dispel the things that have gotten you stuck, and reshape our thinking around what it means to be brave. And then I'm going to give you a chance to ask some questions. I am going to share with you the program that I've started, but there's some opportunities that I want to invite you to. And so let's get started. I am going to ask that as we're going, that everybody keep their mics off, just so we just eliminate any outside noise. And I'm recording this for people that have it or weren't able to join in tonight. So thank you in advance. So the Brave Evolution, like I said, this is something that came to me literally. I was sitting in the living room at my parents' house, and I kept hearing, it's not about what you do, it's who you are. Be, 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 be. And I was like, what the heck does that mean? And I wasn't in prayer. I was just like, what? And I wrote it down. And literally, I was like, okay. And I started thinking about just what it means to be brave, what it means to be great. And so the Brave Evolution is the courageous journey of self-acceptance and a commitment and contentment with who you are, where you are, and the full process of growth into all you were designed to be. The Brave Evolution is about embracing your own unique individual journey. It's letting go of negative self-image, self-talk, the internal struggle to matter or do something great. It's about accepting the fact that right now you are great and loving and honoring the now you. It's about embracing the process, God's process that He has for you to become all that you are purposed to be. And so when it's time to take those steps, you know exactly what you're doing. And it's not like aimless, just shooting in the dark. It's about, okay, this is who I was born to be. When you created me, I was born to be this on the earth. And so I'm going to execute it. That's what the Brave Evolution is about. And it really is about being brave. I tell this story to my students a lot, but for those that don't know, I teach. I'm a professor at Full Sail University here in Florida, but I taught for years at Berklee College of Music as well. And I'm training up young musicians to go out into the world. And as a musician, a lot of times our identity is wrapped up in what it is that we do, how good we sing, how good we play. And the first thing we say is, oh, I'm a singer, or I'm a piano player, I'm a producer. That's the first thing we say. But God really dealt with me on that and saying, no, you are not a singer. I've called you to be this. I've called you to be my child. I've called you to be bright. I've called you to be a light. I've called you to be love. That's who you are. Anything you do comes out of that place, okay? So being brave and embracing the Brave Evolution is about abolishing fear. It's about quieting, getting quiet, and raising your frequency, raising your eyes and your sights to the divine power, God, the creator of all, raising that frequency. And I'm going to talk to you about what that really means. As a musician, frequency is very, very important to me. And then it's also about taking flight. So, like I just said, not aimlessly shooting, but once you raise your frequency and you're in alignment, it starts to flow. Things start to flow and you can take flight. So it's almost like when I was on the airplane on Tuesday night and Wednesday morning. And as you take off and when you're on that runway, everything's in alignment, everything is in order. They check off stuff, they go through the rules, they go through, and you're sitting there. You're not moving, you're sitting, waiting for everything to move. You're waiting and you have to listen. People are talking around you, but you have to listen if you want to know what's happening next, okay? And then you take flight. You start to ease off that runway, and it starts to rise and gradually rises until it reaches that place. So this is about abolishing fear, getting quiet, sitting there, waiting for that moment, then taking flight, eliminating all excuses. It's when you take off, it's like, well, you're not on the ground anymore. There's no looking back. Like, you can't go back out to the area where they called you to board. You can't go back out there if you forgot something. You're in the air now. You got to keep moving. Okay. So what does it mean to abolish fear? So there are two ways to approach anything in life. The first way is by moving in fear. The second way is by moving in love. 1 John 4:18 says, perfect love casts out all fear. When you move in love, love for yourself, love for everybody around you, love for God, love for nature, it abolishes fear. It slowly, the fear that you have, the anxieties that you have slowly dissipate. So it's so important to feed your soul with life, okay? What you read is important. What you listen to is important. So even down to like, I've had to stop myself over the past few months, actually, since this pandemic started, of reading the news excessively on my phone when I get the reports, or reading Facebook comments and stuff excessively, because everybody has an opinion and everybody is talking, and that noise can lower your frequency. It can keep you from actually being focused on what you're supposed to be and who you're supposed to be. What you listen to. So be careful what you listen to. What you talk about, how you say things is so important. I'm going to talk about my health in a second, but one thing that I've realized is how much, especially in our American culture, we are negative. We are so negative. We can go outside and be like, oh man, it's cloudy today. Okay, what's wrong with that? You woke up, you got out. Okay, the clouds are in the sky. The clouds serve a purpose. Or we can go out and be like, oh man, I don't want to do that. Just like negative things that we say, and I do it and I have to catch myself all the time. So like literally, what was it, at the top of the year, I went on a 30-day negativity fast, like where I didn't say anything negative. I was like, I am not going to, if I catch myself saying something negative, I'm going to flip it immediately and say something that I'm grateful for, or just switch it immediately. Our negativity is death, and it creates more fear. When you say you hate your job, when you say you don't like certain people, when you say certain, or like, oh man, like I'm exhausted, I'm tired, you're speaking that into existence over your life, and you will perpetuate that tiredness and that exhaustion. So it's so important what you speak, what you think. It's the same thing. Even if you don't say it out loud, your words are very powerful, but what you think is also powerful, because your thoughts are seeds that produce those words that come out. So be careful what you think. Be careful what you think, and feed yourself life. Then the body. So for those that kind of read my email and everything, for about 24 years, I dealt with chronic pain, and I had a condition, and I say I had on purpose. I had a condition called fibromyalgia, and they say it's an incurable condition. They say that you're supposed to live with it, like you're going to live with it. I was also diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis. So two painful conditions. As a kid, I would wake up one morning and not be able to walk. I was like 10, 11 years old, and my knee would be completely swollen out of nowhere. Um, and my parents didn't know what to do. They were freaking out. I was freaking out and literally in excruciating pain, like bawling. I would go to the doctor. They would say it's a growth spurt. I'm like, oh, okay. Um, Growth spurt, and they would give me pain medication and some crutches and be like, see how you feel in the next few days. If it continues, we'll run some tests. So for years and years, they ran more and more tests. They did Lyme disease tests. They did lupus tests. The RA, the rheumatoid arthritis test, came back positive. And so they started treating me for that. And of course, the treatment is a whole bunch of pain medications, honestly. Um, and then the fibromyalgia. So it wasn't until I was in my 20s that I was actually diagnosed with fibro, but I still had all these symptoms, like just tired all the time, forgetful. And I'm like 16, forgetting basic stuff. Like, what are you forgetting this for? Um, I would, like I said, I sang. So there would be times where I get up to perform and literally be in excruciating pain. Zuli, you and I went to church together and we sang on the worship team together. And there were many days that you guys may not have known that I was leading in faith, but in complete pain, like literally about to pass out, feeling like I was. And like, God, if you just get me through this, okay, I'll rest, like I promise. And so I started shifting and changing my diet. I started doing everything I could because the medications would lay me out. Like I hated taking medicine, and I literally be like a tranquilized elephant all day in the bed, like heavy, in pain, laying there and just a mess. And I couldn't live like that. And I didn't want to live like that. So I changed my diet. I took out all meat. I took out dairy. I tried everything and it started to work. So for years, I actually started feeling good. But what I didn't realize at the same time, because I was like, it's like, okay, I'm gonna go like vegetarian, vegan. And so I started eating like the vegan supplements and certain things like that. But I still didn't realize that I was still filling my body with toxins and things that were piling on each other that would produce more pain. In 2016, when this whole Brave Evolution idea came, around October of that year, um, I was actually fine. I was good. I had no pain. But then my father got sick. He had a massive, severe stroke. And it was then that I went through a crazy amount of stress, literally back and forth from the hospital all that time. So while he was in the hospital, mind you, I had no flare ups for about 2 years. And then all of a sudden, here comes the flare ups again. So I knew stress was a big part of it. Then I was eating hospital food and it was just like bad. So what you feed your body and what you feed your mind, your soul, they produce life. So the eating thing changed. So changed my life. After the stress, all of that kind of slowed down and everything. I started to get back on my regimen and I started to feel better again. Then my dad got sick again. Stress came, eating badly, all of that. Unfortunately, but fortunately at the same time, my father passed away in January of 2019. And I say fortunately because he was free. He's free from pain and suffering too. Um, but after he passed, it was kind of like I was able to breathe, but I was also grieving. And it was like almost every last bit of stress hit me, everything hit me. And I had to sit with it. Um, and I literally was in the worst pain I've had in years. I was dizzy. It felt like I was having a stroke, honestly. I was hospitalized for some time, all of that, and nobody knew really what was going on. Um, and it was scary. It was super scary. I felt like there were days where I felt like I was gonna die, and I felt like life was leaving me. But I was introduced to a holistic doctor. A friend of mine, graciously, she was like, you have to work with her. I've been working with her for months and I feel good. And she was like, work with her. So I met with her and y'all, like, I started working with her, and within 3 months, I saw a complete turnaround in my body. I saw a complete change. I experienced some like pain and weird things because she detoxified me. She detoxified my liver, my gallbladder, all these things. But what she told me is you have to feed yourself life. So vegetables, live and organic. And organic, people have that like, oh, I don't have to get organic. Well, what we don't know is that in a lot of times in these supermarkets, they're putting foods that have been like coated in pesticides and insecticides in the supermarket. And when you look at the label, you'll see like a 4 or a 3. And those 4s and the 3, those are a lot of times in areas are in production where they've sprayed chemicals. Where they say 9, yes, they could change it and manipulate stuff. But a lot of times where the labels, the little stickers on the fruits and vegetables, the produce say 9 and up, and there's like a number after it. Those are a lot of times those farms or those areas where they hadn't sprayed yet. And they've collected those first and they put them in the store. So those insecticides and those pesticides get into your system and they build up over time. And not only those, but there's also waxes on them and in them. And so organic and live vegetables, the more you eat those, the better off you can be and maybe. So live and organic, fruit, healthy, raw food from the earth. Those are good. Nuts, seeds, raw like cacao and cocoa, raw organic chocolate, live and organic things from the trees, things right from the earth. They're full of nutrients and they're great for you. And that helped me. She told me I can eat organic grass-fed poultry and fish. But what was crazy is for years I didn't eat meat because anytime I ate meat, I would be in pain again. And I would be like, oh my God, like I'd be scared. Like literally, there goes that fear again, afraid to eat something that was gonna put me into a frenzy again. So I didn't eat it, but she was like, eat organic grass-fed, just small portions and eat the parts with the fat because that oil and that those have nutrients and it carries the vitamins that the animal eats. Not a lot, but just a little bit to help me with my protein. And then fermented foods to help the bacteria in my stomach. And then water, green tea, organic, and sugar I had to cut back on, and I'm a sugaraholic. I like sweets and it's a problem, but I had to cut back on it and I had to like stop myself and keep myself from overdosing on sugar because it wasn't life and it wasn't helpful to me. So that's feeding your body, feeding your soul, feeding your good stuff, and feeding the good stuff inside of you is going to be helpful to your growth and your development. It also helps your mind and the way you think, the way you move. I have had so much energy and like I've been more productive than I have ever been, I think, in life in these past few months, just because I feel alive. I feel good. So it's important. I encourage you to be brave enough to rethink your diet and the way you eat as well. The next thing is getting quiet. Your journey, your purpose, your call. It's actually easier than you think. Many times we think and we are asking like, what am I really purposed to do and be? What am I supposed to be on this earth? What am I called to? I have so many gifts. I have so many talents. But what is it? So I want to ask you this question and I want you to think about it. And if you want to write it down in the chat, by all means, if you can think about it. But what has been that one common reoccurring theme in your life? That one thing that just almost keeps popping up. It can be a simple word. For me, it was brave. For some people, it might be freedom. For some people, it might be, I keep getting encounters with like people that are having financial issues, or I keep like, these are common themes. So if you can think of something that is a common theme, I encourage you to write in the chat. You don't have to, but I'm going to keep talking as you write and as you think. So like I said, for me, that word was brave. When I was born, my mom she had to like get a rush C-section because the doctor said I was like, they were losing my pulse and my my heartbeat. And when I came out of my mom, I had a big black eye. And it was literally, the doctor was laughing, my dad was laughing, according to my parents, but like literally, like I was fighting for my life. Like I made it through, but I was fighting for my life, and I had to be brave to push through. So it was always about being a warrior. It was always about being brave. As a kid, I always had to step out and overcome my fears. I was shy, I was quiet, but I was always the youngest in certain groups, but I wanted to be involved. I wanted to be there. When my parents started this youth group and this choir, again, I was the youngest, but I was the boldest one standing there singing and squealing as a little 9-year-old kid, and having to be brave. So it was always like reoccurring things, of me choosing to graduate high school in 3 years. Because I wanted to go to school, and I knew that if I graduated now, I could get into school faster and I could get the scholarship that I wanted. And I knew that it took bravery to jump up and say at 27 years old, I'm going to go get my master's degree in New York at NYU. I don't know where I'm going to live. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to do this because I feel like I need to. And it's going to take me being brave to do that. So it's always been bravery. The way you get there, though, and the way I got there was a lot of times in the silence, in those quiet moments, in those moments when I was in pain and in tears and asking God, what are you trying to tell me? What are you saying? Your emotional frequency adds to either your fear, either your love, either your peace, your enlightenment. So there's a scale and there's a range. When you pray and when you are anxious, and when you start to like sit there and just either quiet yourself and pray, you come back into alignment. And that alignment stage, if you can see, it's in the blue, it's the neutrality. It's around 250 on the scale of the 250 hertz. Okay. And that's the place of trust, release, and satisfactory. Trust, release, and satisfactory. When you sit and say, okay, I know I'm worried. I'm at the fear state. I'm at the 100, that low frequency. And I'm dealing with anxiety. I'm dealing with frightening thoughts and all of this stuff. And then you might go up a little bit and it's like, oh man, I want this. I wish I could. I wish I did this. I'm so disappointed in myself. It's a little bit higher, but it's still low. But when you sit and you are quiet with yourself and you are quiet with your creator, you open up yourself to be able to trust and release and be satisfied in that moment. It's important in those moments to be grateful, to be thankful. And even if you can't say anything else, it's not about what you want right now. It's not about what you think you did wrong. It's not about even asking for forgiveness. It's not about that. It's about being quiet and just trusting that all is good, all is well, and saying thank you. Thank you that I'm alive. Thank you that I'm breathing. As you begin to walk in gratitude, your frequency level raises. Gratitude produces love, it produces joy, it produces peace. And you start to think, and I want you to test this out, but if you've ever just started to say thank you and write down things that you're thankful for, you feel something in you lift. You like physically, it's just like, oh my goodness. And then you start thinking, wow, I am happy that, man, it's not raining today. Thank you. It might be cloudy. Thank you for the clouds. Thank you for the cold weather. Thank you that it woke me up and I can walk out and there's snow on the ground. Thank you, because some people can't walk, period. Thank you that, like all those things. Thank you that I can see what the sky looks like. Thank you, I can feel and I can touch and I can move. And even though something might be hurting, like I remember one day I was in pain, and instead of thinking about the pain, I said, you know what? Thank you that this pain is not like it was when I was 10 years old. Thank you that this joint's hurting and not that other joint, because if that other joint was hurting, I'd be stuck here. And I was just thankful, and it raises your frequency. It raises who you are. We talked about the physical frequency of foods and how they affect you. I will provide these slides for you guys to have too. I'll send them to you. But just again, it is proven scientifically that the way we eat, the way we think, the way we talk, the way we move, either lowers or raises our frequency. The last part is about taking flight. Eliminate every single excuse. So when you sit and you have allowed yourself to be quiet, and that little blue line that we just saw, you've allowed yourself to be quiet, you've come to a place of trust, surrender, and satisfactory, you breathe. Then it's like, okay, at that place you're open. That's when you start to come into alignment. You're open and you're ready to receive. So if you're asking, okay, what is that common theme? What are you trying to tell me? Where am I? Is there something I need to adjust? And those are the questions you start asking. And I promise you, in those moments, I always say, like, take a journal or something. In those moments when you have to be quiet, or just take out your phone and write it down or something, you'll start getting ideas. They'll come actually a lot more easily than they would in those places of anxiety and fear and stress. But it's just like, okay, and just write down what comes to mind. Write down what you feel and what you're hearing. Just let it flow and then release it. And then eliminate every single excuse that you have. So I want us to do a quick exercise together. If you can, on your phone or on a piece of paper, whatever you have around you, or if you just want to think about it, I want you to write down one area you've made excuses in and you need to be brave in. The next step is I want you to write down 3 excuses you've made about it. Like, why haven't you been brave? Okay. And then I want you to change your excuses to empowerment statements. All right. So one area that you need to be brave in, 3 excuses that you made about it. And then change your excuses to empowerment statements. So I have an example really quick. So one area is like, I know I need to exercise every day. That's also a part of my regimen, guys, my health regimen, but I need to exercise every day. But I used to make excuses. 1, I don't feel like I have enough time. 2, something hurts every time I exercise, so I don't want to be in pain. 3, I don't really like working out. It's boring. It's annoying. So those were the 3 excuses that I would make. But then I had to shift those statements and those excuses to empowerment statements, and says, I have more than enough time to do what I need to do. I'll just start with 15 minutes. I don't have to go crazy and run a marathon. The second one is I will do something light, like walk, run, swim, not run, but walk, swim, or do yoga. And then the last empowerment statement is I will enjoy those 15 minutes and reward myself. So as you're kind of taking a quick moment to write those down, I'm going to ask like 1 or 2 people if they want to, if you're brave enough to share it, okay, with me and with us. And welcome to those that just joined in. Thank you so much for
Hola.
Hola.
Hello.
Hi. And again, I'm going to share these slides, and I will share the video with you all. So if somebody's got it, I want you to, even if it's not fully done, I want you to share it with me, or share it with us if you want to. Like I said, if you're brave enough to.
Quick question. I came in late. Is it the answer to these questions on the example?
So no, the example, what I want you to write down is one area you need to be brave in. It can be anything. Then write down 3 excuses you've made about why you haven't been brave in that. And then the third is change your excuses to empowerment statements. So I'll keep it on here, okay? give you guys one more minute. If nobody's ready to share, it's okay. We'll keep moving. But if somebody is, let me know. Let me know. Okay. You got something, Zuli? Okay, go ahead. You can unmute.
I'll break the ice because I know
Okay.
it's
Thank you.
yeah, so something that I need to be brave to be able to do and fulfill in my life is launching my brand and my fashion line. That's something that I've like been putting off for so many years. And the three excuses that I normally repeat or, you know, say that are quote unquote valid are I don't have the resources. Number two, I don't have the connections. And number three, I'm afraid of success. And so I flipped those three, not having the resources to the resources that I need to complete my purpose come to me easily and effortlessly.
Yes.
I don't have the connections. I flipped it to I call the connections that I need to come into my orbit from the four corners of the earth.
Yes.
And I'm afraid of success. I turned it into I can handle the responsibility of my success and becoming the highest and grandest version of myself.
Absolutely. That's excellent. Yes. Good job. Yes. So the key is taking those things that you've made a hindrance and a roadblock, a stumbling block, taking those things and saying, you know what? Okay, I got that. I made an excuse. I've made excuses long enough. I got to stop that now. Let me flip that. That's a part of you flipping your negative language and changing it into the positive. Again, your words are powerful, and your words, every word you speak has a frequency, and it either lifts the scale or it lowers it again. So if you say something really, really like dishonest, or if you say something really harmful or hateful or hurtful to yourself or to anybody else or anything around you, immediately you can feel it. The people around you feel it. The atmosphere changes. You shift your atmosphere immediately. So it's so important what you say. In the empowerment statements that I shifted to, Zuli, yours was right on. Like, things come easily and effortlessly. I'm not going to have a hard time with this. I have more than enough time to do what I need to do. It's not about I got to do something else. It's I have more, and I will start. I'm going to start. I will do something about this. I'm going to do something light. I'm going to have some, and it's going to be easy. It's going to be fun. It is fun. And embracing that and then taking the steps to move towards that. Okay. You have to start somewhere. Give yourself grace. So that's one thing that I've had a hard time with. I'm a perfectionist, down to like this email. So y'all, last night I was up working on this e-blast. I was excited. I was ready to go. And I was like, oh, okay. I'm like writing and I'm like, okay, it's ready to go, ready to send it out. And I missed something and I'm so meticulous. And I was like, should I send it out? Should I send it out? Okay, I'm gonna just do it. I sent it out and then I saw it and I was like, no. I saw that I made a typo and I was like, no. And then I was like, okay, let me go back and let me resend it. And I'm gonna resend it in the morning so that when people wake up, the first thing they see is that good one, not the terrible one. But one thing I had to learn is give myself grace. Give yourself grace. You're gonna make mistakes. It's not gonna be perfect. But when you move out in bravery, when you move out in faith, your bravery is your faith. You take that step. You may not see the next step, but as you move out, the next step will become clearer. And those mistakes you made in the past, those things that you kind of botched up, or that word that you got wrong, or whatever it is, it'll come to you because you're learning. But until you put yourself in the position to grow, you're going to be stuck there forever. Like stuck in, should I do it? Should I not? You'll be stuck. So you have to give yourself grace to move. Give yourself grace to mess up, even if you make a mistake, even if there have been times where I've spent money. I did a showcase. I spent $2,000 on this showcase because I was told that in order to get in this showcase as an artist, I had to do it. It was the worst mistake of my life, but it was the best opportunity and experience of my life because I learned so much. I learned, one, never pay somebody $2,000 for a showcase. Two, I was prepared and I worked my tail off for that, and I was amazing. And I still built relationships from that $2,000 showcase, even if nothing fully came from it. So give yourself grace. This was, like I told you, back in 2016, the B idea came for me. So I was like, oh, maybe it's a book. I got to write a book. So this was my first little ugly cover that I created. It's so ugly, but I was like, I have to start somewhere. Just start it. And as I like kept moving forward, the idea, everything started to formulate and it started to come. And this has been a few years in the making, but I had to live life, but I took steps towards it. So Zuli, to your point, thank you for sharing. Take steps towards it. Take small steps. They don't have to be crazy huge. You don't have to like build a whole store overnight, but just start taking steps towards it and you'll start to see it unfold. I'm seeing it every day with tons of my clients, plenty of people that I'm working with in coaching and students that I have literally from around the world. Some of them have been afraid to like step out. I had a student that was afraid to play in front of people, play piano in front of people. But I said, okay, I want you to like, I'm going to blindfold you in class. She was afraid to play in class. I'm going to blindfold you in class and I'm going to have you just start playing. She did it. And then she was like, we can take the blindfold off. And then she started to feel comfortable and everybody started to hand clap her and support her. So you have the support you need. You have more support than you know. So like I said, again, the truth is you can be healthy, because deep down you already have the health in you. That's something I had to learn. The truth is you can be happy because you have that jewel inside of you too. You can be prosperous because you have the wealth of who you are and your purpose, and it's bursting at the seams waiting for you to walk in it. But in order to do so, you must be brave. So this is what I want to share with you guys. And this is not a sales pitch by any means. I don't want you to feel like that. I just want you to know that it's open and it's an opportunity for you, okay? I have a 12-week program that I'm starting in May, and it's a group program. It's my first ever group coaching session for this. I've done one-on-one coaching for the past couple of years. I've done group coaching for like singers and teens, but this is my first coaching segment for this part of building your brand and your business. And I've seen success happen all the time, but I'm super excited about this. So 12 weeks, it's broken down into 3 segments, the 3 segments that I mentioned that will prepare you to take flight. So I'm going to try to get you out here in like 10 minutes, no later than 7:50. Okay. So the first segment is Be Healthy. It begins on May 2nd, ends on May 23rd. So every Sunday we'll meet as a group. I'll help you dig deep and confront those areas of bad thinking, habits that keep holding you back. And I want to assist you in developing a practical routine to get you physically, emotionally, and mentally on track. You'll receive the resources that will assist you in healing your mind, your body, and your soul. Okay. And so in this track, you'll create a Be Healthy routine for yourself that you can use on a daily basis. I'm all about practical. I don't like floaty, flighty things that people just throw at me. I'm like, what are the steps I need to take? And I'm going to do those steps to get me better. So that's what I want to help you do. The next thing in the next segment is another 4-week segment, and it's called Be Divine. And this is all about the quieting yourself, okay? I want to help you connect and reconnect to God, your creator, in a real impactful way. Through connection, we will ask the hard questions, set meaningful intentions, and break free from limiting beliefs and beliefs. Together, we will tune our ears to the frequency of heaven and identify your true life's purpose. And I will help you get clarity on the thing, that one thing that's been there the whole time, that makes you alive and helps you make a profit. The last thing in the last segment is the last 4 weeks. So this program goes up until July 25th, and it's about being brave, taking that flight, okay? I'll help you develop a plan for your execution of your purpose. I will teach you the methods that have helped you and help me be strong, build strong partnerships and a thriving business. I will also assist you in developing basic technological skills to implement for your business development. And I will hold you accountable. And I think that's probably the most important part, holding each other accountable in order to implement these methods in your own work and get the results that you're looking for. So this is the cost of the program technically. And in the program, there are individual segments. The first one, you can choose the first segment, that's the Be Healthy segment, or you can choose whatever segment you want, you feel like you need in that moment. You get 4 60-minute live group calls, and then one group call is going to be with a guest expert. So it might be a holistic doctor to walk you through certain things. It might be a physical trainer. I have friends that are already lined up. They want to be involved to help you all in any way, or whoever the clients are. You get one 30-minute coaching call throughout the time. So I'll help walk you through that segment on a one-time call. And then you get access to a private group where you can ask questions to each other, you can get resources, and then you'll have access to all the resources that I provide for that group itself, okay? The segment itself the cost is $497. As it says, is valued at $2,000, but I'm giving you guys, because you joined tonight, a major discount. These numbers were super random, but I just thought they were good. $299 for that, for a segment. And again, you can choose any one of those 3 segments that you're interested in. If you are interested, you use the code I'm ready. And like I said, I will send these slides to you. The next one is the full 12-week package, okay? And that's valued at 10 grand because of the amount of time we spend building out your business. But I'm giving it to you guys for $1597. It's 12 60-minute live group calls. So every Sunday at 7 p.m. we'll meet, we'll talk. Those sessions are recorded so that you can have them. And then we'll have 4 guest expert classes. So we'll have literally a guest expert every segment, and then an extra one that will help you kind of build out everything you need. I'll give you a weekly 30-minute private coaching call where you'll sit with me every week for 30 minutes, and we'll map out an area of where you are. I'll guide you through what you need to do and how you need to build it out. You have, again, 24/7 access to the group, and then 12 weeks of messenger and email support. So I'll be available to email you back and be there for you. Brand development, that's what we'll work on. Business plan, general marketing materials, all that stuff. I'll help you formulate what it is that you feel like God has called you and purposed you to be, and help you put it together so that you can take flight, because that's what this is about. It's not about sitting back anymore, okay? And again, like, over the next 48 hours, it's a discounted rate. And I put 1111 because that number has been coming up for me over and over, but it's a number of alignment, and it's about moving forward, and it's about taking brave steps forward. So that would be the cost for you guys and whoever gets this in the next 48 hours. If you are interested in signing up, I want you to visit it anyway and get a feel for what the program is, what it is I'm offering, all of that. My website is chantelhampton.com/be brave. Okay. So that Be Brave is specifically about this program, but there are other programs and other things that I have up there. We can do one-on-one consultations, and you can sign up and do checkups and all of that. I'm offering that, but this is for the group sessions. Okay. And if you want to do a free consultation with me, I'll do like a 20 to 30-minute consultation. If you just have more questions, you want to know, you need something asked or answered, you can go to my website, chantelhampton.com, and then just click on free consultation and schedule a time. All right. And we'll link. All right. In the next few minutes, because I don't want to abuse you guys' time, do you have any questions? No questions at all? Okay.
I don't have a question, but thank you for the invite. And I think what you're doing is amazing. And I believe that it's going to touch not only our lives, but other people's lives that come in contact with Chantel Hampton Be Brave.
Thank you, Priscilla.
And
Thank you.
continue doing an amazing job. And thank you for inviting us to your platform of what is $1 million platform, period.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And so yes, Selena, I'm gonna email this information out. You will have a copy of that. And you guys can always visit the website. I'm gonna be sending information out. And again, there are tons of free resources that I want to provide with you, just about how I built my business, all of that. But you can follow me on Instagram. And yes, there are examples of clients and other success. So we just put that in there. And so you can follow me on Instagram if you haven't already. YouTube, I'm putting out weekly videos of empowerment on YouTube, and it's / Chantel Hampton. And then you can also join our group if you haven't already. It's the facebook.com/groups /Brave Evolution. All right. So again,
Chantel,
yes.
I don't have a question, but can I make a comment?
Yes, absolutely. Hi, Lorenzo.
Hi, I just wanted to just say to everyone on the call, and this is not solicited, that Chantel and her work is absolutely life-changing. She literally has changed my life through helping me brand my business. And I I don't really have the words to tell you what it means to have someone who's as dedicated as she is and as purposeful and as driven and as hardworking and as beautiful in spirit as she is. And I just want to give this brief testimony because she has blessed my life literally and changed my life direction through providing a platform for me to express myself through my new business. I had one career all my life, and then in the face, well, actually before COVID began, we decided to do something different in a new direction. And Chantel has been with me every step of the way. So you can't go wrong by working with her and allowing her to help you move in the direction that you want to move in. I just want to put that out there because I'm totally blessed and thankful for her efforts. So this is very real that she's talking about. She has the gift, she has the skills, and she has the spirit.
Thank you so much, Lo. That was totally not solicited. I had no clue he was going to be on here. Thank you. Thank you so, so very much. I love every last person that I work with. I love all of you all on this call. I'm so grateful that you guys even took this 45 minutes to an hour to spend time with me and to hear the testimony. But it's through this practice of me daily practicing that I've been healed. I've honestly been healed. And a condition they said could not be healed has been healed. And so I'm grateful. Money that I thought I couldn't make from starting a business, I've made in my closet recording. I've made money doing and being who I've been purposed to be. And I want you guys to experience that. Not only just money, I want you to experience the freedom of living in complete bravery. So again, it's not a sales pitch. If you don't have the resources, I'll work with you and I'll help you. It doesn't matter. It's not about that for me. I want to see you win. That's it. All right.
I wanted to jump in too, Telly, before we go.
Okay. Hi, Jess.
Hey, everybody. I wanted to ditto what Mr. Lorenzo said as well. I'm definitely a walking testimony to some of the even the small, very small details of recipes and her just keeping me accountable, accountable to my diet, and the practical side, like she mentioned. And so it is absolutely worth it for sure. And I just wanted kind of to ditto that. Like Telly, we've been walking together for about for a while now.
7 years now.
7 years, yeah. And having a lot of the same fibromyalgia and arthritis issues, and all of the suffering with depression, just all those things that as she's walked out of it, being able to give me practical advice has really legitimately been such a crucial impact as well. And so I was just glad to be up here. And I know you got a lot of content online now, Telly.
Mm-hmm.
Where can we like get that information to, just to kind of spread out?
So yeah, all of the information, like if you want to forward those videos, thanks, Jazz. It's on this page that you see. And like I said, I will email you guys these slides so you have all this information and the video. But you can forward the videos or whatever. And then I will be sending you guys email blasts, just updates. It might not be weekly because I am a little swamped, but it might be monthly. But we'll work on a realistic trajectory on the email blast. But I am posting content for you guys. Thanks, Zuli, for subscribing. I want to be conscious, so I'm gonna let you guys go. But I'll stick around for a few more minutes. If you have questions, if you want to share anything else, by all means, I'll stick around until around 8. Okay. Love you guys. Thank you so much again.